we have what Natasha Denona says is her biggest launch of the year. And first of all, shout out to all my detectives because you guys have been sending me this in my DMs. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So I've been anticipating this one. I've known about it for a little bit here, and it is right up my alley. If you know me, you know I'm excited about this. This is supposedly a shop or drop where I tell you whether or not I will be shopping it or dropping it. No question. You know I shop all the ones that I do the shop or drops for. So shop right away, and I am in love. Let's take a closer look at this together. If you're new here, I do not have the palette. This is just my shop or drop where I speculate. I get your guys' questions for when I do get it and I do film my review. And we just get to talk about the excitement and build up the hype for this launch. So we're gonna start off on her Instagram before we get to her website. Okay, look, so I Need a Nude is expanding, and you know I love those lip liners and lipsticks, but also, hi, I Need a Nude palette. Packaging, yeah, you know, it's kind of the classic, nothing super exciting. Not sure what this is all about. I don't really care because what matters is on the inside. So this was the first sneak peek, which leads us to the big eyeshadow palette reveal, where she is beyond thrilled to reveal the new I Need a Nude eyeshadow palette, the new Essential Everyday Rosy Cool Toned eyeshadow palette, complete perfection of eyeshadows that range from lightest to deepest of nude shades for all skin tones in neutral to pinkish undertones. So if you have cool skin tone, this is going to look great on you, but it doesn't matter. Use it if you want it. Besides my signature pressed powdered mattes and metallic, she's also brought back the beloved sparkling foiled formula in a new taupe and brown shades, as well as featuring my brand new, so we have a new formula, Wet Effect formula in sparkling and glosses finish. It's going to launch in the app August 18th, Sephora app. And then on the 19th, it's launching on the Natasha Denona website. So keep your eyes peeled. I would definitely be sharing this when it comes out. And it's going to be $69. But let's look at this palette. Yummy. If you know me, you know cool tone neutrals. I love a slate gray look. I love a taupe look. I love this palette. It is gorgeous. I don't know if the palette is going to have any repeats. We'll take a look at the shades, but if you guys want to do some research, I will pin your comment if there are any repeat shades. Please let me know. Since this is my first impression, I can't do the research right now, but so many gray toned-esque kind of shades. Maybe this is like the sparkling wet glossy formula. Okay, we need to look at the website because that will have all of the hidden information that we need. So we are on the Natasha Denona website. Look at this. Obviously, this is fake, right? They added this special effect, but I love it. This is gorgeous. Gosh, I'm so happy Natasha Denona redid her website. Do you guys remember how terrible it was a few weeks ago? This appeals to me. They did a good job. So you can join the wait list right now, but it's going to launch in like 2 days. So we can take a look at the looks now and the colors. So let's see. So there are 7 mattes, 3 sparkling foiled finishes, and 3 in the new Wet Effect formula, sparkling and glossy finishes. I really need to see what these feel like. Where are the shade names? Ingredients. Thank you, but no thank you. I'm looking for the list of shades. Okay. Here we go. So if you want to go through, these are the numbers that you can find through old palettes. Let me know if you do use that, but this is the palette color. So we have a matte, metallic, Ella is a sparkling foiled, matte, metallic. Okay, so this is one of the new formulas, Delilah, a sparkling wet effect silver brown, matte, sparkling foiled, matte, sparkling foiled. So these are like a formula that she's done before, but hasn't launched recently. Matte. Okay, here's another one. Glossy Wet Effect Warm Champagne Sheen right here. So these 2 are new. There should be one more. Matte, matte, and then the last one is Mia. Sparkling Wet Effect Icy Pink. I am so curious to see these in person. So first of all, this look, gorgeous. This is the kind of like evening smoky eye that I love, with the dark outer part, maybe a little darker than normally how it would go. That looks beautiful. Did we take a closer look at the palette? I guess we can't, but you know I love it. Okay. Next one. So which one did we say? Mia? What one were they? Anyways, Mia is one of them. Delilah was the other. They don't look any different in swatches. Like those wet effect shadows, they look like metallics, but I feel like it's something that we'll have to see texturally in person. I cannot wait to get my hands on this. I always love a new formula that Natasha Denona is not afraid to play with. Here is another look, almost kind of like a cut crease, a lot of concentration of the dark colors in here. This one I could never do, but very talented. Oh, you know I like a look like this. This looks so pretty. It looks like there's a little bit of variety here. A lot of times, well, lately with some palettes that have launched, Pat McGrath, there wasn't a lot of variety. I feel like within the neutral color tone family, I think we are getting that. Gray tone, slightly pinky coppery tone. Okay. I mean, these looks are right up my alley is the thing. Smoky looks, light looks. I feel like you can get a lot with it. Like, I am in love with this one. I think this one looks so pretty. Her website always gives me such good inspiration. A little bit more artistic than I normally would go. I'm trying to decide if the depth level looks like enough. I feel like there is a good variety of depths, right? Because going back down here, especially with this one, you have this fair shade, then you have a slightly darker mid-tone, and then this shade is going to be on the money for getting that dark look, which, looking at the palette, right, I'm like, does it have enough depth? But then as I'm looking at all of the looks, all of them have this really built up, deep look, pretty much. So I'm assuming that this palette can go quite dark on the eyes, which is looking good for those of you who do have deeper complexions. I'm hoping that the gray tones aren't too close to one another. It sounds like there's a lot of variety in formula here, so it might be similar color but different effect on the eyelids. I mean, point blank, I am absolutely stoked for this palette. I love that it's a midi, so it's $69. No, I love it. I'm excited about it. The only thing where I'm like, about are these swatches right here, because this arm swatch looks a little bland, right? It looks like a lot of really close colors. The claims of the different formulas, I'm not really seeing it, but I'm sure it's going to be totally different in person. And lately, Natasha Denona has been killing the game, like the last year or two with palette launches. For a bit, there was like a time where the formulas weren't as good. She's really streamlined the performance of her shadows. They've been really good, really consistent, great color stories every single time. Super different, really keeping that artistic aspect of Natasha Denona being a makeup artist. And I can see that in her palettes. I can see the thought. And I feel like she is giving the people what they want. I'm very curious how this is going to differ from the Glam palette. I love my Glam palette, you guys know, but I need to see these side by side. So my question for you guys is, what do you want to know about this palette? What do you want me to compare to when I do get it? What are the questions that you do have? Make sure you comment down below. That's going to help me with my review. Okay, wait, so before I continue any further, I just saw on Natasha Denona's YouTube page, she posted live swatches, so let's look at that together. So, now they put the light specifically on the sparkles to make it look extra eye-catching, but look, oh, this is so much better than the pictures. Okay. Okay, now I feel like with this lighting, you can kind of see the differences in the shade. Okay, I feel like I'm going to use like a dark chocolate brown is what we're missing. Maybe a little less chocolate, a little bit more grayish, but something else besides this one. But other than that, I'm loving lots of light tones, lots of mid-tones, So far, this palette is almost perfect, pretty much. Okay. Now we can start to look at that Delilah. That's one of the new wet ones. And I think Muse's as well, if I remember correctly. Mia is one of those wet. Oh, Mia, Mama Mia. Isla is gorgeous. The lighting, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing because this has got me drooling. Oh my goodness. Okay, these swatches look so much better. They look like there's a little bit more variety in the colors. Definitely it's reminding me a lot of Glam, but I feel like the shimmer shades in this look like they are amped up, especially with that wet formula. I hope the wet formula lives up to the hype. Pretty glimmery. Oh. Those swatches are miles long. Wow, that left me with a lot of satisfaction. Okay, so on my Instagram, it's been not very long, but I do want to take a look at what you guys are thinking. So on my Instagram, if you don't follow me, it's morganturner makeup. So I asked if you want to be featured in a shop or drop, respond. So here's what we have. First response, love. I expected you guys to love this one. So similar to Glam. That's what we're gonna find out, but yes, totally. I'd sell my soul for this thing, not gonna lie. A lot more enthusiasm already. Pretty, but similar to the Glam palette. Reminds me of every other cool tone pink color story. Also not giving fall or summer. It's definitely not giving fall or summer. Maybe winter, right? But I see where you're coming from. I love it. I love cool tones and know I'll get a ton of use out of this. I definitely will too. I need to see swatches, but it looks beautiful. Hopefully you just saw it, but live swatches, like with not in favor of Natasha Denona, right? She gave herself the best lighting possible. Realistically, probably won't look that sparkly. Love it. Natasha Denona doesn't work for that well, but I need this one and I will make it work. Oh, so I guess you don't have the best experiences with Natasha Denona, but you're liking the color story. Kind of grayish and ashy. I can agree with that, but I like it. I like grayish tones. Looks like it, but why her palette's photos look always cooler tone than in reality? Yeah, I just said that they look different from the photos. Sometimes it's just hard to convey accurate color through photography and videography. I'm not a professional though, so I can get away with it. I'm sure she hired professionals, but it's just a lighting thing, you know, things just don't pull through on camera, and they edit the photos. Looks like a muted version of the retro palette. Interesting take. I'm intrigued. I'm so excited. This is the perfect everyday palette. If you are a cool toned, you're gonna love this palette. It's gonna be so flattering. Need, love. I'm getting the feel. I'm so impressed. I love that all the neutrals are in one palette. Oh, we have a I don't like cool tones. Yeah, I don't think you're going to get much out of this palette if you don't like cool tones. I love cool tones personally, so I'm jumping for joy. Love it. Love it, need it, buying, Anna said. Amen, girl. Yesterday, she messaged me and she was like, don't convince me to get the new Pat McGrath palette. It happened for a reason. You didn't get it because you're getting this. And I think you're going to need this. I'm excited for this. Love it. Crowd boos. Boo! Oh, is this a negative one? Is that what I'm getting? No, no, I cannot speak today. Not repetitive within her collection of eyeshadows. It's a shot for me. I'm only curious about the Glam, but I'm still excited about this. This is the first palette that I am the most interested to buy. Will do, girl. I will compare it to Glam. I think the palette will become the most used everyday palette of most of us. Okay, I think it might be a little bit cool tone to be like an everyday, but maybe, you never know. Pretty useful and all that. But we have the color story thousands times over. It ain't stopping me. I don't care. But true. Okay, I think that's all we have because I only posted this like 10 minutes ago. But I would say that the response is overwhelmingly positive, so I see that we are all so excited for this palette. I am probably, is this the most exciting I've been for a launch in a long time? I think I'm the most excited I've been for a launch in a long time because nudes. I need a nude. That was enough to sell me. Nudes, Cool Tones, Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette, new wet, glimmery, shimmery formulas. Sold. Okay, I'll be seeing you all in the review very soon. Bye, guys.